So the question for this week that I'm going to be focusing on is, what does current culture and social media tell adolescents about marriage and divorce, and is it good for the child? So just based on my experience, um, my parents are divorced, and they divorced when I was in high school. And one of the things that popped out to me on this 61 single parent statistics was this repetition of the single mothers taking care of the family, or taking care of the children and the finances, um, after going through a divorce, rather than the father. And it was something like 5 times more likely to, be the single mother to children compared to the father, who was only like 3%. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And like, part of me wants to blame the court system for that, because I feel like the fathers do miss out on a lot because the mothers are automatically assumed as the caregivers. For example, like when my parents were going through the divorce when I was in high school, I remember the court or judge or whatever asking me, is it okay if you just see your dad on Wednesdays? And to go from living with a parent your whole life every single day to only seeing them once a week for a couple hours at night, it's just kind of messed up. But another thing that I really wanted to know is, why has the divorce rate risen so much? And on here it says that teen pregnancies play a huge role, or young pregnancies. What else does it say? It also said that like, the institution doesn't put an importance on romantic relationships, and that is contributing to the decline of marriage rates. It says in 2018 the marriage rate in the U.S. was 6.5%, a decrease from the 1990s, which was 9.8%. And so I can't help but think, what happened from the 90s until now. And I think a lot of it has to do with technology and the evolution of just having the access of meeting new people in the palm of your hand, and hiding behind a screen where you normally wouldn't say certain things in person, or vice versa, like maybe being super romantic and intimate over messages, but in person you have no social skills whatsoever, and then you realize that maybe this isn't going to work. I've definitely seen people like that, where they look so good over social media, but then in person it's like a completely different relationship. So I think I think that definitely contributes to the decrease or the increase of divorces. I also think, like, it's a lot more socially acceptable to get a divorce. Back then, especially with like religion and everything, it was like, once you're married, like, those were the vows for the rest of your life. That was a commitment you made. And now it's like, you don't have that pressure for everyone to go to church and believe the same things. Like, for example, my grandparents, like, we still say to this day, like, I don't know how they're still married. They've been married for 60 years. And if you ask them, they'll be like, well, we had to do it for the family. And it just, a lot of times nowadays, I'm not saying it's easier to give up, but there's more options available to create a better life for yourself. And I think it's definitely more socially acceptable, and there's other people out there to support you, and it's not like you're shunned, kind of like how you were back then. Let's see. I think also a lot of it has to do with like parental role models. For example, my boyfriend and I, both of our parents are divorced, so neither one of us have really like those parental figures of what a healthy marriage looks like. And although it's unfortunate, it has also taught us what we don't want and what we don't want for our future. It has taught us the importance in relationships and what to value, and it also has taught us what not to do. So I bet marriage is hard and there's going to be ups and downs in any relationship, but I think having the tools and knowledge to navigate those challenges is something that maybe needs to be talked about more, or expected, I guess. So those are just my 2 cents and my experience on relationships and marriage, and it's something that I hope I can share with other people and they can learn from me.